Hey guys, Miha here with Creative Business Build. So I've been getting a lot of questions about how to actually get in touch with clients and what is the most effective way to maybe get them interested in working with you or interested in your creative services so that you'll actually have a good chance of landing a project with that company that you're contacting. Now, once we've talked about that in the previous videos, so it's very important to actually find the contact details of a decision maker in a company, like a CEO or a co-founder or founder or maybe a director of marketing, and get their email address. Now, there are a couple of ways of getting in touch with these people. The first one is maybe get their phone number and call them. Which I think is not a good way to do it because you're basically harassing the person. They have to answer the phone. Maybe it's not a good time for them to do that, and it's an approach that's basically too salesy. And nobody likes people calling them and offering them their services or their promotions and everything. Especially, you've probably gotten a call from an insurance company or something like that, and it's really annoying. So that's not a good approach. Maybe if you're really good at cold calling and have experience with that, you can try doing it, but I'm not a person that likes to harass people, so that's not the approach that I take. The other way is, another way you can use is basically get in touch with them through a message on LinkedIn, which could be good, but at least in my experience, I found that people don't really read their LinkedIn messages, especially busy people like CEOs or company owners don't really check their LinkedIn messages regularly. So it's not a really good approach if you want to get projects fast or get in touch with them. You also have to send a lot of follow-up messages, and that can also come across as spammy. So it's at least I've tried it, and it doesn't really work that good, at least in my experience. Now, cold emailing. That's basically the approach that I use, and it works really well. So what is a cold email? A cold email is basically an email message that you send to a person that you basically reach out to them through email and you introduce yourself and you offer your services to them. Now, there are some legal things here to keep in mind. At least in some countries, cold email may be considered as spam, so really make sure to check that before you start cold emailing people. But at least in my experience, I email a lot of people and company owners from the US and from Europe and basically Australia and everywhere in the world. And if you use a cold email as a B2B reach out, like a business owner reaching out to another business owner and introducing themselves, it's usually not considered as spam, and I've never gotten any bad responses from people. Maybe some persons were annoyed, and maybe some people were annoyed and they said, hey, don't contact me ever again, but that really rarely happens. Most people are just nice, and if they're not interested, they tell you that they're not interested, and they will maybe get in touch with you later or something like that. But most people that I cold email are really nice, and a lot of them are actually interested in the services I have to offer. Now, it all comes down to targeting, because you have to know who you're targeting, and you have to cold email people that are really relevant to your services. So in my example, I offer animated services, animation production services for startups and tech companies, and that's also the big chunk of my portfolio is for app developers and people who have startups. And if I cold email people like that, it's usually not a problem, and they're also my target audience. So make sure to define your target audience really in detail so that you'll be getting good conversions, and basically people, you'll be contacting people that are relevant to your work. So once you have all of that defined, it's time to actually send out a cold email. Now, the first question that arises here is what kind of a subject line do I use? I've tested a lot of different subject lines in the past because the subject line is the first thing that the person sees before they open your email. And a good idea is not to use a subject line that's spammy. For example, don't use something like an offer or maybe a discount on your services, or don't use something like amazing animation or amazing graphic design or something like that. Just use something simple. Something, imagine as if you're sitting with that person over a coffee or over a drink, and you're introducing yourself. So the subject line I found that works really well is just hi name, like hi James or hi John or hi Lucy, or basically the person's name, so that so that they can relate and they also see that you're a normal person, not some spammy marketing guy trying to get something from them. Also, another couple of subject lines that are good, and I've tested them out, is like maybe a cooperation proposal or something really simple that basically is not spammy and doesn't trigger their defense response, so that these people will actually open the email. The next thing is the message text. For the first cold email, I usually use a really simple approach, and that's I introduce myself, like I say, hi, I'm Micha from Startup Explainer, where we create animated videos for startups and companies like yours. And we've done a lot of work in the past and then I list the companies that we've done work for. And then I just say, let me know if you're interested in talking more about this, and that's it. And this is a really simple email because I don't use any kind of discounts inside of the cold email approach, inside of the cold email message. I don't talk about the technical details. I just offer them value by saying, hey guys, we've done a lot of work for companies like yours in the past, and they're really happy with our work, and maybe we can also do something for you, and let me know if you're interested. That's it. It's that simple. And just from that email, I've gotten a lot of really good responses. And if they're actually interested, you will have a lot of time to discuss all the details about the project and their needs and how you can deliver it, and basically everything. Now, I know a lot of people from all kinds of industries, like graphic design, web design, UX design, or app development. And this approach really works well for basically any kind of creative or creative professional industry. And I really urge you to try it out for yourself, see how it works, and let me know how it works out for you. It's working really well for me, and I hope it does for you too. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Also, if you like the content, give me a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.